Us here, and really just excited to share the story with you. So many new friends on Facebook that we've connected with over the last couple of months, and especially with the situation as it is around the world, South Africa at the moment, connecting with loads of. I thought I'd quickly get on here and just share our story with you because one of the most inspiring things that you will notice about Herbalife is that people always share their stories, and it's kind of like the Hollywood drama. You want to show where you are and where you're going to, and for Simon and I, we've been building Herbalife now for 22 years, 18 of those years full time. So, sometimes sharing your story can really be that hope for people, and that hope that there's something else out there that, can change their life. And, it certainly did for us. So I want to share that journey with you, and, hopefully you enjoy it, and hopefully maybe someone or you get inspired by our journey. So when Simon and I got started in the business, we were running our own business. I had a business down here in Cape Town, and it was going great. And within a couple of months, the economy changed, and pretty much like now, things are out of our control. And within a few months, we started to lose people that were working for us, and we just never recovered because they weren't making money, so they had to look for other opportunities. And it was really a change in the economy. Funny enough, the dollar got to 20 rand to the dollar, kind of where it is right almost now. And within a few months, we lost everything that we owned. We got home one day to our house in Edgemead, and everything was repossessed. The sheriff had been around. We couldn't pay the bills anymore, so he'd repossessed everything and given us an eviction notice. And we had to move out of the house. And they obviously took everything, and we ended up sleeping on a mattress in our office for a couple of months, before eventually the office completely closed down. And that's where we kind of found Herbalife. And I was driving down the road one day, saw a notice that invited me down to a presentation, and I went into that Herbalife meeting, and quite honestly, I got excited because I saw people that were excited, people that were happy with life, they were making money, and I got started. I bought the pack, but I took that pack home, and home. When I say home, I took it to our office with our mattress, and I said to someone, "This is going to be the solution." She was with me at the meeting. She hated it completely. She thought these people were way too old to be excited at 7 o'clock in the evening. We were in our early 20s at that stage. And but I said, "Come on, let's taste a shake." And I made her a shake. And I remember my coach saying, "Don't mix it with water." So I mixed it with a spoon and some tap water. I mean, don't mix it with milk, he said. And he said, mix it with, he didn't tell me what to mix it with. He just said no milk. And of course, I mixed up the shake with water and a spoon, and it tasted revolting. Obviously, it had all lumps in it. It wasn't mixed properly in those days. We didn't get shakers or anything in our bag to make the shake. And someone had one sip of it, and she said, "That's disgusting. No one's ever going to buy this. I don't need to lose any weight, and let's just fix our business." And I just kind of thought, okay, maybe that's the best thing to do is to focus and fix our business. And we tried, and then a couple of months later, we ended up out of the office as well, and then we ended up sleeping on someone's mother's couch. And it was a tough time in our life, but it was me and Saman. It wasn't too bad. It wasn't the end of the world. We were fighters, and we got up and we started fighting, and we ended up getting horrible jobs that we both hated. But eventually, we landed up in a situation where we now couldn't pay the rent. We got a little place, 2 weeks to go to pay the rent, and we had 2 weeks to come up with 1,500 rand. And I started sneaking off to the Herbalife meetings by myself because someone was not interested. She was what we call a skeptical spouse. And for good reason. I mean, I made a horrible shake. So if people have a bad experience, that normally puts them off something. And so I started going to the meetings, and thank goodness I ended up at one meeting in the waterfront, and I heard an incredible story from one of our president's team members. And he said, he told his story of how he had no money and how he built his business writing on pieces of paper and, talking to people. And I thought, what, if he can do it, I can do it. And I went home to someone and I said, "Listen, we need to go to this big event. It's going to be happening in Sun City. And quite honestly, I'm going with or without you." Because I really needed a solution. I wasn't happy with what I was doing. I was, basically selling cell phone contracts that I absolutely hated. And when I said to her that I'm going with or without you, she knew that I was serious, and thank goodness she came with. She wasn't happy in her job either. I didn't know that at the time, but she was in the bathroom crying half the time because she was so, depressed about where she was working and being working retail hours in a retail store from sunset to sunrise to sunset, and not seeing daylight. So quietly she said, "You know what? I'm going to come with it as well." And quietly she really wanted to something different in her life too. So we went up to this big event. It was amazing, and we sat in the Sun City Super Bowl with 4,000 plus Herbalife distributors. Mark Hughes, the founder of the company, came out on stage and he told his story of how his mother died, trying to lose a few kilos. And it's one thing to hear Mark's story; it's another thing to hear him tell his story. And it was a life-changing moment for Simone because she realized, that she had people in her family, in particular her mother, that she loved, and she didn't want to lose her, to unhealthy lifestyle. And she made a decision to come home and really help her mom. And although she wasn't really in the business with me, she kind of accepted me doing the business at that stage. And we got excited. We got back to Cape Town. We made 1,500 Rand in the first 2 weeks, just sharing my results, my energy results on the products with Simone's family. And it was enough to pay the rent, so we didn't get evicted again. And then Simone started vomiting, and I was like, "Oh gosh, what's going on now?" And found out that she was pregnant with our beautiful son, Tyron. And it basically for the next year and a half or 2 years almost, we kind of really just did Herbalife part-time whenever we needed to make money. We didn't take it as a serious business. We didn't see it as something that we were going to build our future with. But it was a great part-time business that whenever you were struggling for income, that we could make some money. And that's basically what we did. And Simone would, she worked at home around Tyron and, made sales and, sold some products and, helped people get amazing results on the products. And eventually, after Shanna was born, it got a little bit tougher, because at that stage, I was again, in a job that I didn't like, wasn't making enough money. And, as a father and a husband, if you can't provide for your family, it starts to weigh on your consciousness, it starts to weigh on your abilities. And for me, you started to slip deeper and deeper into a depression and thinking I was a failure at everything. I'd failed at being working in a company. I'd failed at being a boss. I'd failed in my own business. And, I'd really given up on life and, started to hang around with the wrong people. And it really just sent our whole marriage into a horrible spiral. And, we ended up being separated, Simone and I, for 15 days. That was as long as I could last without her. But it was a really, really tough time in our life. And we ended up in this horrible little flat. I'll show you a picture of it. A horrible little one-bedroom bachelor apartment. It wasn't even a flat. Literally had one room and a kitchen and a bathroom, and we were all sleeping in that. And it was just the most depressing place to be. And I had definitely no hope at that stage, no dreams. I had no desire to do anything but just try and get a mundane job that I could pay the bills. And I bought into something which I hope none of you ever buy into. And it's, I heard this over and over in my life, where people said you need to live below your means. And I thought, well, this flat's 1,000 Rand a month. This is way below, what we were paying. Maybe I can just, survive here. And we went into this horrible spiral. And thank goodness, I have the most incredible, strong, beautiful wife that stood up. And she was working for a horrible boss. The boss was making her promises of what she was going to be able to do in the company, and eventually she realized none of that was going to happen. She had a fight with him one day and came home and said, "That's it, I've had it with him. I'm not taking it anymore. We need to get serious about Herbalife." And thank goodness she had been around long enough to hear the stories, and especially of our sponsor, who started as a single mom in Herbalife. And you must remember, at that stage I was a completely useless husband, definitely not providing, not being the man that I should have been. So, kind of what she was really doing was preparing to be a single mother. And she knew that she didn't want to be a poor single mother. And she'd seen other people in Herbalife who were single moms making good income. And thank goodness she didn't give up on me immediately. She really gave me a second chance and, slapped me around a bit and said, "Let's get serious. Let's do Herbalife. Let's, put everything we've got into it." And I was very excited to do that because, it kind of gave us our marriage back. It gave us the opportunity to work together. We've never done well working apart, and it was exciting for me to be able to work together again with her and focused on a particular goal. And thank goodness, we got serious about Herbalife, and we just burnt all the bridges. We said to each other, you know what, we're going to make this work or we're going to die trying, because we had messed around with it for enough years, made some money, but weren't taking it that serious. And then when we closed the doors behind us and we said we're going to make this work, everything changed. And it didn't come easy. Obviously, it was a lot of hard work, but within a few months we got out of this horrible flat at least. Still had the little car, which was, that's what it was supposed to look like. That's not even the actual picture of the car, but it was what it was supposed to look like. Ours was so rusted and had rain coming in the roof because, it had rusted around the aerial. And it was just a tough time in our life. But, once we had made the decision to close the doors behind us and we really focused on, providing a better life for these two little beautiful children, because for me, my dream was always to work at home around the kids. Because I have two older children from a previous marriage that I didn't even get the privilege of seeing, never mind raising. So with these two beautiful little kids, I said I need to be at home with them. I need to work, at home around them. And we just got serious, from this point. We started helping one customer at a time, one distributor at a time, and we moved into this little townhouse eventually a couple of months later. And for me, this was the most incredible time in my whole life career, because, I was able to work at home around the kids. Tyron, you can see Tyron in his little Superman suit there, and Shanna. They're both 18 and 19 years old today. But we built our Herbalife business in that little office. That little window behind him there was our office, and we could watch them killing each other outside, but still able to work. And it was incredible to have that time with them, because so often people take their kids to school in the morning at 6-7 o'clock, pick them up at 4-3-4 o'clock, and that's it. That's all the time that they get with their kids. And for me, I didn't want that kind of life. So we weren't, how can I say, we weren't like, this is it and we're going to get rich and we're going to travel the world. We had none of those dreams at this stage. We were just working to pay the bills, and we were happy to work around the kids, and we were doing that. We weren't doing it always on time, but we were making enough for bread and butter, and sometimes just the bread. But it was the lifestyle that was most important to us. And one day, I'll never forget it. I remember getting a call from my sponsor, Angela Jackson, from the United Kingdom. And she said, so congratulations, Sean, I'm so excited for you. And it was right in this house, in this office. And she said, congratulations, you've qualified to the world team. And I was like, really? What's the world? What is that? What is world team? Because understand, we weren't going to trainings, we weren't going to meetings. We knew how to sell the product. We knew how to help people join the business and help them, sell the product. But we weren't really going to trainings. And she said, well, you got to come over to this world team school, and they're going to teach you how to build a bigger business and, develop your skills. And I thought, okay, great, fantastic, no problem, I'll go to that. Where is it? And she said, it's in London. I said to her, no, Angela. I said, you've got to be kidding. I said, I've got a 3,000 Rand a month rent here now, because it was like 3 times the amount of where we were. And, I'm working at home around the kids, and, I don't have money to come to London. And she said something very significant to me, and I'll never forget it, and always thank her for it, because she said, well, that's great, no problem. I understand that you're working at home around the kids now and you're paying the bills. But is that all they want? Is that all you want? What happens when the kids grow up? Don't you think they're going to want more? And I thought to myself for a second, yeah, they probably are going to want more, as they get older. And I thought, okay, you know what? Here's somebody successful, been in the business that time, I think 20 plus years already. And she was telling me what to do. And one thing I knew from our previous business is if you followed successful people and you copied what they were doing, you would do well and you could become successful. So we made a decision to get over to this event in London, and we sold more products and we signed up more distributors and we worked like crazy. And eventually we ran out of time to get the plane ticket, and we sold our TV and we sold anything that we could to get the money to get to this plane ticket, because we just so much believed that, what Angela was telling us could change our lives. And it was the most life-changing event. We landed in London with not 1 cent in our pocket, not £1, not £1. But thank goodness Angela picked us up at the airport, and she looked after us while we were over there. And we went to an event that completely changed our lives. And it was a 3-day event. But, sometimes people think, I'm going to go to this event and I'm going to get all of this information. But ultimately, you really pick up one or two things from an event. And the thing that I got from that event was, one of the president's team members stood on stage and she said, you need to stop using your children as an excuse not to do the business and start using them as the reason to do the business. And that really hit home for me because I was the Gus. I was sitting there thinking, well, I can't go to the trainings. I can't go to the Tuesdays and the Thursday and the Saturday meetings because who's going to look after the kids? And, I wanted to work at home around the kids. So I had that excuse. And she took that away, and I realized she's right. I need to go to these events, build this business because of them, for them, not because I can't and use them as the excuse. So that was a big thing. And then, of course, spending some time with Angela and seeing her lifestyle was amazing for us because she lives in a beautiful part of England, in Windsor, right next to the Windsor Castle. She always makes a joke and says she waves to the Queen in the morning. And she took us for a walk down the Thames River, just along the Thames River. And I remember it like yesterday. Sorry, guys. And I turned to her and I said, wow, you live such an amazing life. And she said something to me that I'll never forget. And I hope you guys can get this. She said, you know what, Sean? You can design your life. You can have anything you want with this business. And thank goodness I believed. We came home from that event and we just put our heads down. I believed in I could have the life that I wanted. And I believed that we could use our children as the reason and not the excuse. And we got home from that event, put our heads down, went to someone's parents and we said, listen, we want you to look after Taran and Shanna Tuesday, Thursdays and Saturdays. We're going to go to these meetings and we're going to learn how to build this business. And I guess in the beginning they thought maybe we were a bit crazy and, it wasn't going to last that long. So they said yes. But eventually we did. And we started going to Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday meetings. And that's why I'm so crazy about events. Guys, you can't build this business without events. And we started going and we started learning and, just got better and better. And we started getting more distributors and more customers. And eventually people that, saw our lifestyle working at home and our kids started to follow us. And we found some really good people. And, we've built our business on a handful of incredible people, a handful of people that wanted a better life and, were prepared to work for it. And it's been just absolutely incredible what's happened. So for 18 years, we've worked at home full-time around the kids. We've raised our own children, built our business. And, as we started getting better, we started qualifying for all of the amazing things that Herbalife gives you. And, of course, a lot of those are travel. And, travel is something that Simon and I really fell in love with when we went to London for that first time. So we started to travel. But it's all possible because we just have an incredible group of people. We have over 35,000 Herbalife distributors in our organization right now. And what's amazing about that is they don't work for us. They're not our employees. They are independent business owners. They all run their own independent Herbalife business. And the crazy thing is that they have the same opportunity to build whatever they want out of the business. And some of them, I'm so excited to say, have built a bigger, more productive business than we have. And because of that, they earn more money than us. And that is so exciting for me because, for years, I always used to watch this little clip about, how our industry worked. And they would always say that shouldn't the most productive person earn the most money? And I thought to myself, yeah, but that doesn't happen in the normal world. The guy digging the hole is not earning as much money as the guy sitting in the bucky, watching the guy dig the hole, who brought him to dig the hole. And I thought, that just doesn't seem fair. The person that works the hardest earns the least. And that's true for most companies. So it's so exciting that these people can go and do what they want to do. Every single one of these distributors have an independent Herbalife distributorship, and they can take it to whatever level they want. And some of them are just blowing the records, out of the water of what they're doing, just because they prepare to work harder. And I'm so glad, because they then get paid more. But along the way, we've had some amazing trips from the company. We've been able to travel around the world. And, in the beginning, we had no money to travel to these places. We really went on a shoestring budget, But what was exciting was that it didn't matter that we were broke, because we were broke in Paris, or we were broke in Italy, or wherever we were broke. But, we had these most amazing experiences, and we've been on some beautiful cruises. Some of them have been free vacations from Herbalife. Some of them have been events that we've paid for out of our Herbalife business. But just to travel around the world, I mean, we've ridden the camels in the deserts of Morocco, we've kissed under the Eiffel Tower, we've skied the Alps in Switzerland. And when I say the Alps, I mean like the little practice ski slope at the bottom. And but been to James Bond Island in Thailand. It's just so many places that we've been able to travel along our journey. And as we were growing our business, and then obviously as we started to make more money, we were able to then take the kids with us. As they got older and we started to take them with, I got to renew my wedding vows to my beautiful wife in Las Vegas, in a little chapel in Las Vegas. And we took the kids to Universal Studios. They've toured with us around here in Los Angeles. We've been to the Canary Islands, Hawaii, San Francisco, New York. It's been absolutely amazing. And of course, with what's happening around the world right now, we're so glad that we've done all of these countries, because who knows how long it's going to be before people feel safe and free to travel around the world again. So it's been even more amazing for us that we've at least got to see these beautiful places. And along the way, taking the kids has been amazing. I had the privilege of having my eldest son come and live with us, recently, and we got to take him with us to Paris as well. So now we had all three of our beautiful children with us. And, in Paris, in Disneyland in Paris, got to kiss under the Brooklyn Bridge in New York. You girls understand these shoes. I'm not sure the whole deal is with the shoes, that they have to be red underneath, but you girls get it. But kissing in a gondola in the Venice was absolutely amazing. Taking the kids around, so we've worked hard. We've invested a lot back into our business, because these trips were, although they were fun, they were also for meetings and trainings as well. So we make sure that we invest always back into our business. But we've had an absolute blast traveling around the world, and now doing it with the kids is amazing. And this was a particular event we went to, and we qualified to the president's team, which is, one of the top 1% earners. Once you get into that bracket, you're what we call a president's team, and you get to fly here to Los Angeles in our head office, where we literally actually just down the road from at the moment. But you get to have this amazing dinner, and this was our CEO at the time, Michael Johnson, who read our story out, and you get to put your name on this wall here in the offices in Los Angeles, and it's an incredible experience. And we're just so excited that not only have we now been able to achieve president's team, but within our organization we have six different president's team members, and that's a picture of us all there on our balcony in Llandudno. Just an incredible, inspiring group of leaders. Some of them that have gone way past us in the business, and that's just because they've worked harder, they've put more effort, and I'm so excited for them, because they've changed the game for their family. They've changed their generation forever. None of those president's team members' families will ever have the same challenges. They'll have different challenges, but they won't have the same challenges that a lot of people had growing up. And their families have now got financial security for their extended families, which is amazing. And that was us getting the Mark Hughes bonus last year. We received another bonus this year as well. And you get that bonus from helping other people to reach your level. So there's this constant flow of helping people to get higher and reach higher levels in the business, because you get rewarded for helping people raise up, for getting up the ladder, not for keeping people down at the bottom. So it's been the most incredible journey, and now it's like a Hollywood movie. We just can't wait to see who's next, who's going to step up and continue this Hollywood journey, and make their Hollywood movie and make their dreams come true. Like we have. This was a trip that we did to Bali just last year before honors as well. And then one of the most precious moments that we had was taking our friends, with to ski with us in Switzerland, and we all went together because we had been skiing before. So we said, "You guys have got to come do this with us," and it was just amazing to be there with our best friends in the world, and they in Herbalife too. We met them in Herbalife. We're building the Herbalife business together. They're building their business. We're building our business, and it's just amazing. But it was an incredible time to go spend that quality time skiing in Switzerland, with our friends, and it's just been the most incredible journey. And obviously, you know, recently just being here in Los Angeles has been incredible because, as you know, I don't know when you're watching this, but we're currently locked down around the world. Everybody's at home, and we're stuck in America, which is no problem because we can build our business online wherever we are around the world. But this was just the most beautiful view that we had just last week in Mexico. And that's where I was working from. Okay, I'll be honest, I didn't do much work with that beach view, but I did do some little work there. And we just had the most incredible apartment right on the beach, in Cancun, and it was just absolutely amazing. So it's really up to you what you want to do out of this business, and what it is that gets you excited. And for years, someone and I used to go down to this beach in Llandudno in Cape Town, and every time we had some free time, which wasn't that often, but we would go there and we would look up at these houses and we'd say, "Wow, imagine one day we could live here. Maybe one day if we just keep using the products, wearing the button, talking to people, maybe our dreams can come true too and live in this incredible area." And we used to drive out of there when the sun was setting and thinking, "Wow, how beautiful is the sunset." And I can just, so excited to tell you right now that that's the view from my bedroom. And, I look at it every single day with such appreciation because it was such a long time, it was just a dream. And it's based on helping other people get what they want. And that's what's exciting for me is this has been an incredible business to help and empower people and give people a chance and give people hope, when there's very little hope in this world, to really create a massive successful life. There's a way to earn a living, but to create an incredible life, there's people out there right now who just had that dream and maybe have given up on it. And now we have this ability to give them that opportunity to dream and to, whatever as big as their dreams are. We can show you someone in Herbalife who's achieved it, and it's amazing. So we get to work at home now around in this beautiful home with our beautiful kids. Some of them have moved out already, but some are still with us, which is amazing. And it's just an absolute dream come true. We love, working, from home, having the view of this beautiful beach, and just knowing that every single day we have the ability to share this opportunity with people and give them a chance um, to create this incredible lifestyle. So all I want to say, guys, is whatever you want out of this business, it's possible. I hope you've taken some inspiration from our story. I know that we are so grateful and thankful to Mark Hughes, who started the company back in 1980. Being our 40th year in Herbalife now, can you imagine that? Right here in Los Angeles, where we are at the moment in Beverly Hills. That's where he started the company, and we'll just be eternally grateful for him because, without Mark's vision and without his dedication and commitment, millions of people around the world wouldn't have the life they have today. And we have the most incredible life right now, traveling around the world and being able to be free. To me, that's the biggest thing, is to have the freedom to do what you want when you want to do it. And why are we working still? Because we choose to. Because why would I not want to create another Hollywood story? Tomorrow somebody watching this video might see it and say, "You know what, I want to give that a shot and become the next superstar in Herbalife." And to watch that story unfold is like having an incredible live, Hollywood movie happen and fold in front of you every single day of your life. So we love what we do. We absolutely can't wait for the next 10 years and see what's going to happen. And, right now in the world, as things are changing and things are, getting disrupted, we just can't wait to see what these disruptions are going to lead to, because I've got a feeling it's going to lead to some incredible, incredible stories that are going to come out of this. And 5 or 10 years from now, we're going to say, "Wow, if that never happened, none of that would have happened." So just amazing. So thank you for watching. Thank you for listening to my story. We can't wait to see you at one of our meetings. Can't wait to see you at one of our live events or our online events, and just hopefully, take you and watch your journey. So thanks for watching. Have a fantastic evening, day, wherever you are in the world. Have a fantastic day. Thanks for taking the time. Chat soon.